Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 7th to the 13th of April 2014. We begin the week with Venus recently gone into Pisces, so after a long Capricorn transit and a short stint in Aquarius, Venus is back in the graceful, emotional, soulful ether of Pisces. So this is a wonderful time to tune into our intuition and to look at what we value in the other realms, not just in the material plane, but to actually reconnect with our soul value and with what we've valued maybe over lifetimes, what's really important to us in the big picture, spiritually, soulfully, emotionally, very coherent aspect to this one. By Sunday we have the Sun opposing Mars, and this will begin to get us ready for the cardinal grand cross that's coming in from the weekend onwards. So if you see Sun as your life force energy and Mars as where you take that life force energy and direct it, they're both classically seen as masculine aspects, but that's just more active, dynamic aspects. So with those two things at opposition, it's worth again engaging with that Venus and actually making your decisions on what's worth your energy from a bigger picture rather than trying to push ahead, because Mars is retrograde and opposite the Sun there could be a conflict of interest there. But by all means the biggest news coming up is the Grand Cross, it falling at the same time as the full moon, which will be on Monday and Tuesday. Some are calling it a blood moon, but that's a little bit mangled. The blood moon used to be the name of the moon in October, at the time of the dying sun, at the time of the hunt. It was a very honourable blood aspect. And now this moon is being referred to as a blood moon in a much more modern fashion, and there's a lot of fear factor around it. Yes, there's an eclipse, but we have 4 eclipses every year. The moon does turn slightly red during a solar eclipse. Unfortunately not visible from the UK, but I believe most of America and parts of Asia will be seeing this one. So be a little bit careful not to get caught up in all this dramatic activity, the blood moon as well as the Grand Cross. The Grand Cross may well be delivered to you in a fear factor fashion as well, so here's my breakdown. Uranus is in Aries. So the way to work with Uranus in Aries is to actually engage with thinking differently, imagine differently, break the rules, connect with your inner rebel and have a vision for better, because Uranus wants to break down and break through to a better world that's more aligned with the age of Aquarius. Jupiter in Cancer, we've had this aspect going since June last year, and this is a wonderful one for us to be sovereign master of our emotions. We've got to lose all the petty programming of decades of being told what we should feel and being trapped by this whirlpool of feelings, and actually become the master of our emotions. So check whether your feelings are even yours, whether they're serving you, and a quick way to tune in with what's right or wrong for you is do you feel contracted or expanded? If you feel expanded, then everything's probably okay. If you feel contracted, then at the right moment see if you can go into the source of that, back into your past, to the first time that you felt that way, and unravel the story that's been building and building, snowballing through your life, because we've got a chance to wipe away a lot of the conditioning there. Mars retrograde in Libra, that's going to be a case of taking all our passion and our fiery energy inwards rather than flaring up on the outside. So the practice run there with Mars up the Sun on Tuesday. By the time we get to next week and for the next couple of weeks, we need to be very sure of our inner fire, turn everything inwards, nourish the inner flame, and make sure that you're working again from a very soulful and purposeful aspect there, rather than all this eco-personality psychology stuff, because there will be things that will be annoying and aggravating on the outside, but you have to have that button inside of you to be able to have your buttons pressed. So go in gently and take a look at what button's being pressed and why, what is there in you that you can clear up there. And finally we have Pluto in Capricorn, which is again a very, very long-standing aspect. It's just now currently opposite Jupiter, and this is saying, well, what do you stand on and for? Build your core strength with dignity and grace. Make sure that you're not avoiding yourself or taking any shortcuts, and make sure you've got that long vision. So things can get broken down. It can be quite a deconstructive aspect, but only that which needs to go anyway. So that's my breakdown of the Grand Cross, the Cardinal Grand Cross, because we will be working with this for a couple of weeks, and it does begin essentially at the same time as the full moon lunar eclipse on Monday and Tuesday. So we feel things ramping up. I'll talk more about this next week, but I just wanted to give you some positive aspects that you can work with, because there will be lots of doom and gloom and fear being spread around on the internet, and it's not necessary. This is something for us to engage with and work with to become more empowered. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.